Hi, I'm Jana, and this is a Real Mom car tour of the 2025 Aston Martin DBX707. And if you're in the market for a supercar, but you need the utility of an SUV, this may be the perfect car for you. So I'm going to tell you in this quick tour, I'm going to show you actually what I love and what you need to know about the 2025 Aston Martin DBX707.
If you're new here, I'm glad you found me. Hi, I'm Jana, and I give Real Mom car tours. I am a boy mom, auto enthusiast, and I'm an Aquarius, which means my life and sometimes these tours are a little bit chaotic, but they are fun. So buckle up and let's get back to it.
Let's start in the front. You have such an aggressive, bold grille with the gloss black. Obviously, we're going to be taking in a lot of air. We have to cool this engine down when we're going fast. I was going fast. You have two hood vents up top with a little carbon up there. A fun fact, I don't know, people always say fun facts are never fun. The Aston Martin emblem, I'm going to bring you in to look at that. The Aston Martin emblem was created originally by a jeweler outside of London, and to this day, the same jeweler still makes every single emblem by hand at this jewelry store. You have these really pretty LED lights. I love the casing, how it goes all the way back. See that brushed stainless and the detail there? There's just a ton of detail in this headlight box. Under the hood, you have a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. It's going to have a 9-speed automatic transmission, 697 horsepower, and 663 pound-feet of torque. And the 0 to 60 is in 3.1 seconds. If you're driving an Aston Martin, I don't think you're hurting for money, but let me tell you what your fuel economy is. Obviously, we're running premium fuel here. You're going to have 15 mpg in the city, 20 on the highway for a combined of 17. Now, a lot of people compare this to the Lamborghini Urus, or as they say in Italy, the urus. Do they say that in Italy? Okay, I've heard it both ways. I'm from North Carolina. We're definitely saying the urus. So let me know in the comments, would you consider the DBX707 over the urus? If so, why? If not, tell me that too. I will tell you, I have the price right here. This starts at $249,000, and as shown, this is $352,000. So I want to just swing around. Okay, let's look at the side body. You have these really large wheels, and I don't have the exact specs. To me, these look like 22s. These are Pirelli tires, low profile, of course, on a car like this. And then you do have your orange Aston Martin brake caliper. So McLaren, their signature color is papaya, which is very similar to this orange. This is a little bit different hue. I don't know the exact shade that Aston Martin calls it, but I will look it up and put it in my notes if I can find it. And then the wheels, they are not gloss black to me. They seem like a dark, dark gray. So I'm going to take you around. I'm going to bring you here in the shade so you can see that with your brake caliper. And then I'm going to bring you around where the sun's hitting on it directly. And you tell me. And no, I did not curb that tire. Somebody was driving it before me and maybe they did that, but not your girl. That's definitely gray. Okay. You have carbon all the way around. Up on your side view mirrors. This is just a peek at the top. You have your spoiler. I think this is I love how aggressive this spoiler is. And then obviously airflow. For your aero, I'm going to bring you in on your quad exhaust, because if you're watching this, you probably care about these details. Why wouldn't you? This does still tow. It can't be called an SUV if it does not have the utility to be able to tow. The lines are just so incredibly beautiful. I'm going to set you up back here, but I want to take another look at some of your aerodynamics and your air curtains. And I'll bring you in for a closer look at those. Tons of detail. The design language is just gorgeous. It is, you see in here. And let me tell you, I'm definitely here to go fast in this thing. It's so fun to drive. We're back at the front. This is kind of a chaotic tour, just because this is my 4th car of the day in just as many hours. I am out of breath. I have not eaten. I am tired. I'm starting to sweat. Oh my God, and I have 2 cars after this. So, but nothing is gonna be as exciting as this baby. So we're gonna go back to the back really quick. I don't wanna get ahead of myself because I wanna show you the utility that you do have in the back of the DBX707. Okay, so I'm sure I could fumble around. There's the button there. You also can hit this twice. I love the Aston Martin key fobs because there's always this crystal. Can you see that? This crystal piece here. It's just really pretty. And you have tons of storage in your cargo. I do not know what that is. I'm going to leave it there. You have this beautiful leather matching cargo cover, but you don't have to have it. Let me bring you in just to show you how the other half lives. This comes with your signature Aston Martin umbrella, and it has tie downs here. You have other lockers on this side. Do you see this? So if you want to tie down more things, you have the ability to do that. Just beautiful finishes as you would expect back here. This button is your suspension, so you can lower this. Can you see that? If you need a couple extra inches clearance to get something in and out or to tow. I'm going to do that one more time just to see if you can see. So this has, these 2 buttons are to lift and lower your suspension. So we're going to put it up. Can you see how much it's raising? That's quite a bit. You have the option, depending on how you're driving, what you're driving, if you're towing, all those things to lift and lower from this button and of course from up there. So we're going to put it back down. We're going to imagine I'm trying to get a huge box in here. We're measuring this on my hip pocket. It's hitting me right here. I'm going to go back down. I'll get you how many inches, but it's a lot. We call that 4. So there's those buttons up close, your umbrella. These buttons lay your back seat down. And the seat belts are on so they won't fall, but let me just show you what that looks like from this angle. If you move the seat belt, this drops and goes mostly flat. This is on a 60-40 split. There's a button by the shoulder that you can use to put it up and down as well. But since we're in the back seat, I'm going to move you around so you can see this. All right. In the back seat, I'm feeling very orange. Orange, you glad I'm doing this tour? I don't know, that's the only pun I could come up with, but I think it works. Obviously, you have your Luxe materials back here. You're enjoying your fixed glass roof. We do have a shade, and I'm going to have to shade it soon. It's my first trip to Portland, Oregon, and there is a massive heat wave, and it's supposed to be 60 degrees, and it's literally 100. I was in a different car yesterday on the way back at the end of the day at like 3:30, and it was 104. I thought I was going to die. Okay, this is not a bad back seat. I mean, it's a really good one in my opinion. I love all my materials. Everything I'm touching is luxe. It's high-end. It feels so good. You have vents on the side here and additional vents here. I like having 2 blowing on me because, as we mentioned, I'm burning up all the time. This is what this looks down. This is what this one looks like when it's down. We're going to put her back up. You have an armrest with 2 cup holders, and this is set up if you wanted to slam a person in the middle, like if you just really needed to bring a friend along, you could do it. It's not horrible. I like how this is indented here. There is a hump. I always mention that, like if you're riding in the RAV4 or another small SUV crossover, you could install 2 car seats, 2 bucket seats on each side, and you could still get in here. It's going to be tight no matter what. You could do it. You have 2 sets of lower latches, and they cover it with this, which is so Aston Martin, just to keep everything looking nice, but also comfortable because that's a little extra bolster for your back. Such pretty detail all over in these seats, which should be both heated and ventilated. I'm going to turn this on and get the air going. Here's a little POV. Here's your heated and ventilated seats. You can lock and unlock your doors back here. From here, there are no locks on your actual doors. Bring your climate down, bring your fan up, all pretty standard. A tiny little map pocket. And then look at some of your speaker detail. It's really pretty back here, and it's really comfortable. You have 2 USB chargers and a 12-volt plug, and I just slung the cap over here. Oh, got it back on. So, more carbon, your upgraded surround sound, more speakers up in the back, and yes, the headliner is orange leather. Orange, you glad you're watching this? This is truly a tangerine dream. I can keep going. The real magic is happening in the driver's seat. Your driver's seat does everything. It's heated and ventilated and power adjusting, and it has lumbar, and I don't know, the one thing I don't know is if it has massage. Okay, a little POV from the driver's seat of the Aston Martin. You have more carbon over here. You can see this giant speaker, a nice pocket in the door. Everything I'm touching is just so luxe. I mean, this is all beautiful leather. You have vents over here and vents right here, which are great right now because it's so hot. Your pass-through, and I love a pass-through. Let me show you your center stack and your screen. So up top, we have this, I'm gonna call this stainless. I feel like that's all I can call it. Did I just leave a fingernail? No, okay. Good thing. Your speakers up top. There's people everywhere. It's wild where I am right now, somewhere in Portland. More carbon, and I'm just bringing you in to show you your infotainment. You have your drive mode selector, and I really like how easy this one is to use because your drive, you can do GT, Sport, or Sport Plus, and you just drag it where you want it. Your exhaust, whether how that's gonna sound, GT, Sport, or Sport Plus. Steering, I think you get the point, but it's very customizable. You have your audio selections here, nav built in, which I have been using, and then CarPlay, and we can go home. You can toggle your climate here or down here. You have a wireless charging pad. And let me just show you, in case you haven't been in an Aston Martin, this center stack takes a tiny second to get used to, but it's actually really intuitive, and I love the button placement. I'm trying to move my stuff out of the way. I love the button placement. So I can toggle my temperature by rolling this, the fan speed. This is how you shift gears. I'm gonna put my foot on the brake, and I'm gonna go down to drive, up for reverse, push this in to park. I can also switch to manual mode, and I'll be able to use my paddle shifters when I do that. This is the other suspension button, traction control, and let's check out your cameras. Control the camera by touching the display. I always appreciate look how dirty, my fingers are so gross. I'm so sorry. So I can manipulate the image, and this is what's around me. You can see I'm in some random parking lot on a boat ramp, but it's pretty though, and I appreciate knowing what's around my car. It's amazing. That's the 3D camera. All right, you have all my junk here, 2 cup holders. You can close that. This is very high gloss black plastic. You can get a small bottle of water in there underneath your armrest. You have great storage, 2 USB-Cs to charge, and another 12-volt plug. Just look at the detail before I let you go. I put the shade up because I was burning, I was roasting in here. And there's the button to do that. And then there's your carbon. It's so pretty. It's just so beautiful in here, as it should be at $300,000. The glove box gets opened by pushing that button. Little neat detail there. So I hope you like this quick tour of the Aston Martin DBX707. If I'm your vibe and you can handle this chaos, you can find me all over social media. I'm on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm also at realmomcartours.com. So I think I'm going to turn the cameras off, put my seatbelt on, and I'm gonna have fun just driving the hell out of this car for once. We're not gonna be worried about creating content. We're gonna be worried about the 0 to 60 in 3.1, because truly, it's about the journey, not the destination. And this journey has a need for speed. So, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. What's amazing is that I feel so safe in this car because it's so orange. Somebody almost pulled out in front of me a second ago, and then they stopped and they just like waved, because how are you not gonna see this car? It's so incredibly bright. And I've got the exhaust in Sport Plus, which means it's also loud. Louder, anyway. I will mention there's a ton of safety features on this car. Obviously, if you're gonna drive fast, you need to be able to stop fast. You need to be able to, I mean, we have all the airbags and all the safety things. Do you hear that beeping? That is because I'm going over the speed limit. So the speed limit is 30, I was going 34. So I'm not exactly sure the threshold of when it will start beeping, how many miles per hour over. But it's an auditory reminder to not speed. It flashes also on your gauge cluster in front of you. So I know a lot of people just hate some of the newer safety and tech. I find that a little bit annoying.